Hello my friends, I'm Serenity Dawn and welcome to this story. Today I am bringing you a huge, massive, epic book haul. I am going to show you all the books that I have bought in the past month and a half or so. I didn't buy a whole lot of books for a while and I saved up my budget and now it is all gone for like the past 2 months. But you will see why in just a moment. I'm going to try to show you the books that I received or bought in order. Does that make sense? I hope so. Let's jump into it. So the first book that I got recently was one of my most anticipated book releases of the year, and that is the sequel to Origin, which is a continuation series of The Lux by Jennifer L Armentrout, and the second book is called The Burning Shadow. Oh, y'all, so excited for this one. So stinking excited. I wanted this book so much and I wanted it signed, so I bought it from Fountain's Bookstore. It was a full price book for me, plus shipping, but it is, I got a little bookmark, but it is signed and it came with a book bow. And it's Embrace Your Fate. It's really nice. It's reminiscent of all the electronics, like computer bag. I like it. It's pretty. I'm excited to read this book. Excited to use the book bag. And yay! Also, I did do the ombre pages. So I've got that gradient thing going on that the cover has. And just like my first book, The Darkest Star, which I also did, because I just love these books. They're gorgeous. Oh my word. So the next two books that I received were a gift from my husband. They are also new releases, and honestly these two books would have been like half my book budget. So super glad he decided to get them for me, which allowed me to get a lot of these books. So the first book that I got was Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This came out 2 weeks ago now. This is a signed copy. So very excited. Secret societies. Oh yeah. Supernatural. Sounds right up my alley. But this is her first adult novel. This is definitely not YA. This is an adult novel. She has been very adamant about that. So do not go into it thinking that it is like any of the other books that she has written before. The other book that he bought me was a book called The Beautiful. He knew I wanted it and said, yes, go get it. And I was super excited because this one is signed. I looked everywhere when I went to pre-order it for a signed copy, and I couldn't find anybody that had a signed hardcover in the US, and so frustrating. Then I found this in my local bookstore, signed. Like, what the world? What are the odds, right? Right? So I returned the other one because this signed before my pre-order ever even came in. So yeah, got this one. My pre-order went back. I did paint the edges and I gave it the Coeur de Leon crest. I am so excited. I like this. I think I might do some alterations to it, but I really like how it turned out. I don't know if the camera will pick up all the detail or not, but I did post this on my Instagram. If you want to see a better picture of it, check that out. Shameless plug for my Instagram. It's not super great, but occasionally I do post things. And as some of you may know, if you've watched my Gilmore Girls readathon TBR, I read Serpent and Dove recently, and I did that for that readathon, and I went to the Barnes & Noble book club, and at my local Barnes & Noble book club, they did a giveaway at the end of the night, and guess who won a book? Your girl won a book, and I was super excited because I know this is a highly anticipated book for a lot of people, although this wouldn't have been a book that I would have bought myself because first of all it's kind of pricey, and secondly there are other books that are higher on my TBR, but I'm excited because now I can read it and maybe join in on the discussion for next month for The Fountain of Silence by Rudess Petit. Also, this is a historical fiction, which is really cool. This woman does historical fiction, and she spends 3 or 4 years on each novel. She does a lot of research. I personally never read one of her books, but I'm excited to read them. I got to listen to her talk a couple years ago, and I don't know why I haven't picked up one of her novels, like, to actually read it. I need to. I'm excited to. This is a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. At the back, there's an annotated notes, like photocopy of her notes and some of the research and some pictures and stuff, which is really cool. I've already looked at it a little bit without giving myself too many spoilers. Then I went to one of my local half-price books, and they had If There's No Tomorrow by Jennifer L Armentrout. Now this is one of two, I think, two contemporary novels that she has written. Normally she does supernatural fantasy kind of books, but this is a contemporary, and from what I understand, it's a pretty hard-hitting contemporary. And yes, there's an inscription, but it's also signed, which I thought was pretty cool. So I got this. Y'all, you're going to see a lot of books coming up from Half Price Books, because Half Price Books recently did a weekend where there was 4 days of 20% off books for educators, and as an educator I got to enjoy that wonderful perk, and we happened to go out of town that weekend, and I got to hit up some awesome locations and explore some bookstores, which was fabulous. So, without further ado, let's hit it. We went to San Antonio, which is like a 6+ hour drive for our family. But the first bookstore that I got to go to in San Antonio, I got a couple of things on clearance there. One was a book that I've already read and I thoroughly enjoyed, but I got to get this on audiobook, which is a lot of fun, and that is Across the Universe by Beth Revis. This is the first book in that trilogy, and it was really fun. This is kind of like a whodunit sci-fi in space. And then I also found on clearance Sun Warrior by PC Cast. Now, this is a chunk of a book, but I thought this was the first book in that series, and it's not. It's the second book, because evidently Moon Chosen was the first and Sun Warrior is the second. Oh well, I guess I will have to see if I can get a hold of the first from a library. But I don't know what this is about. I realized this was the second book and I didn't want spoilers, so no looking at the dust jacket or synopsis. So on Saturday, we left the park kinda early. Kinda not, I don't know, we left the park. Whenever it started to get dark, we left the park, because that's when it was going to be super scary and like nobody under 13 kind of recommendation. So we're leaving the park at San Antonio, and somebody jumped out at my young son. As they see us trying to leave, jumps out at my son, and he jumps in front of me, and I trip, and my back gets hurt. Like, seriously hurt. Like, I couldn't, walking, I didn't think I was gonna be able to leave the park kind of hurt. Like, that's how bad it was. But whatever. I did. I was able to, after my husband massaged it for a little bit and like tried to get it back in functioning order. I don't know. It was bad. Super bad. Yeah. Like 2 weeks dealing with a bad back. Bad. Going to the chiropractor every day. Bad. Really did not appreciate that guy jumping out in front of my young son when we're trying to leave the park. Yeah, not cool. But anyway, enough about that rant. I did get to go to the bookstore that night because, you know, my back's gonna hurt either way. At least let's have some fun, you know, while we're here in this city. So I hit the jackpot at this one store. I was so freaking excited. The first book that I found is this book that I keep seeing at various bookstores, but this one was like for $4, and I just couldn't pass it up for $4. And from what I understand, this is like Jane Eyre in space. And, you know, the Bronte sisters, not really my cup of tea, but I thought maybe if it's in space and inspired by and not the actual, maybe I'll enjoy it more. I don't know. Plus this cover is just so pretty. There's just something about these pinks and these purples on this black with the stars. It just, it called to me. It called to me. It keeps calling to me, and I finally gave in. So we're going to try Brightly Burning by Alexa Dawn. I'm not sure. Then I was so excited about this because I just had finished the first book The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. Now this is not the next book in the Blood of Eden series. This is the last book in the Blood of Eden series because it's a trilogy, but it's so pretty. And it's not a book that I see hardly ever. I've only seen it like twice, I think, at my bookstores. So I picked it up. The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa. This, I think, was one of my most expensive books that I bought that weekend. It's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. And there's birds. It's just beautiful. And these birds are in like a double helix. Like, I don't know if you can see that. It's a double helix kind of going up. And look at those end pages. So pretty. And underneath it, what? I don't know. It's just so stinking pretty. And I'm super excited for this book because I loved The Immortal Rules so much. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what she does with the rest of the series. This was a book that I've already read and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. This is a new take on Oliver Twist. It's a gender bent retelling because this takes place after the events of Oliver Twist, but Oliver Twist is actually Olivia. We just didn't realize it during Oliver Twist because it was shh, hush hush, you know. So Olivia Twist was a fun, sweet, interesting historical fiction retelling. I don't know, whatever you would call it. It was a lot of fun. I wanted it in my collection. I am looking forward to my daughter reading this when she gets a little older, or my boys. I think it would be a lot of fun for them. So yeah, super excited about this. This was a really good deal too. This is like $4.40, so you can't hardly beat that. It was a really good shape too. I'm super excited for them to read it. So then towards the end, I came across two really fun finds. One, on clearance, I came across a first edition of Boxin', which is some short stories and plays that C.S. Lewis wrote when he was younger. So super unusual, kind of like not his traditional stories, because these were written before he was ever, you know, trying to do publishing or whatever. This is when he was a kid and a young adult. So, I mean, like, when he's a kid, look at this picture he drew, you know, to go along with one of his plays. I don't know, it just sounded like a super fun read, really interesting, not one that you come across very often, and I just couldn't pass it up. It was less than $5, and this book is just in brilliant, brilliant condition. I just, so stinking excited when I came across this. And then I also got an Avengers shirt. It was like $4.60 or something like that on sale, so I just couldn't pass up an Avengers shirt because a girl can never have too much Marvel in her life. But anyway, I got that. I'll post a picture here because it's currently in the wash. So that was what I got on Saturday night. And then on Sunday it was super chill. I'd hurt my back, so we really didn't do a whole lot. Plus we were all tired from the day before. So we just stayed at the hotel. We let the kids swim, even though it was cold, and it was an outdoor pool. They enjoyed it. They had fun. And then we went and had lunch at an authentic Mexican restaurant. And I'm not talking Tex-Mex. I'm talking about true Mexican, like from Mexico food. So that was really fun. That was a neat experience. And then afterwards, we went to a couple bookstores and got ice cream and all that good stuff. So the bookstores, what did I get? The first bookstore that we went to, I found on clearance. I found Gregor and the Prophecy of the Bane. And this is the second book in the Underland Chronicles by Suzanne Collins, who you might recognize the name, wrote The Hunger Games, which I don't have here. It's down there now. But anyway, I have thoroughly enjoyed what I have read of this series. I'm currently towards the end of the second book, and oh, man, this is such a fun series. There is, I don't want to get into it right now, but it's a good series. I highly recommend it. It's just a really fun series. I'm super excited to finish the series myself, and also when my kids are a little bit older to have them read the series, because it's really good. So they had this on clearance. I was super excited. I had to snag it up because I didn't have any of the books in this series. Then I found Lockwood and Company, The Whispering Skull. This is the second book out of 5 in that series. And again, I didn't have any in this series. I just finished this series during the Gilmore Girls readathon. And I loved it. This is such a fun, atmospheric, kind of creepy, supernatural read. It's about a group of 3 friends who run a supernatural ghost fighting business, basically. And oh man, it was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is by Jonathan Stroud, and now I really need to read some of his other work because this was just fantastic. So I got this for like $5. So then on Monday, it was time to go home, and before we did that, we left the hotel and we hit up a bookstore before doing anything else. And at this bookstore, I found Tahara Mafi's Furthermore, which is just so pretty. Look at the colors and the artwork. This guy kind of reminds me of that Guardians movie. Like, oh man, so fun. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to reading this. This is her middle grade novel, and the first in like a companion duology. And I have never read it, but check this out. It's also signed. So cool. Like, I was so stinking excited about this when I found it. And I tried looking up because I couldn't remember if I had it or not, but I couldn't get Goodreads to work, which is where I have my list of like books I own. I found out when I got home, yes, I do already own this book. Drats. But whatever. Then we had to leave San Antonio, and on our way back we stopped in Austin. And in Austin, I got to go to a couple of stores that I really enjoyed when we went the first time, just my husband and I. And y'all, I was so very excited when I came across this book for multiple reasons. First of all, I found Gregor and the Code of the Claw, which is the 5th book, I think, out of 6 in this series. As you saw, I have the 2nd book, and now I have the 5th book. But what is so very cool about this book is it's signed by Miss Suzanne Collins. Y'all, I have never seen a book signed by Suzanne Collins. I'm just so glad that I found this book because what the world? I love Suzanne Collins. I'll enjoy her writing, and I'm so excited to actually have a book that is signed by her in my collection. Like, that just, oh, that made my day so much. So stinking excited. I also got, on clearance, I found Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. Like, y'all will know who this is. But anyway, this is the collector's first edition, which I don't know what makes it so special. Oh, okay. So there's like, what's special about the collector's edition is that there are letters that Will wrote to his family on his 17th birthday, which if you've read the story, you know why that's important. If not, it's not a big spoiler. You'll find out if you ever read it. But anyway, now I have all of the Infernal Devices trilogy. So that completed that. I was excited to find it on clearance because, you know, clearance rocks. So then on my last stop at the last store in Austin, right before we left, and I found The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud, which is the first book in the Lockwood and Company series. And so now I have the first 2 books in this series. Whoop, whoop. Like, how wonderful was that? I've gotten 2 books in 2 series that I wanted to collect, and I'm just so excited. I also found The Enchanted Air, which is a book in the Air Chronicles. I don't know which one this is. Yeah, it's the 4th. This is the 4th book in the Air Chronicles. I have not actually read this series. This is a shocker to some of you, I know, because I love the 7 Realms novels by her, and I'm working my way through the Shattered Realms novels, and the ones that I've read I've thoroughly enjoyed. Oh my goodness. So the fact that I haven't read this, I don't know. But when I found this on clearance for less than $3, I mean, like, in perfect condition too. Like, it is just Beautiful. Very good. So I had to get it. Plus, it's a beautiful cover. But I'm going to read this series eventually. The last two books that I got while I was there were a couple of, this is going to be a shocker for y'all, I know. These are both by Jennifer L Armentrout. One is her suspense horror book that she's done called Don't Look Back. And the other one is a standalone called The Cursed. I had not heard about this book prior to finding it in the store, but it sounds really intriguing. It's about a girl who's hunted after an accident that was supposed to have killed her and didn't, and was it really an accident or was it intentional? So on and so forth. It sounded really fun. It sounded intriguing. I'm excited to read it and check it out. It's inscribed, but it's also signed. So cool. And so is this one. So much fun. But anyway, I like signed books. What can I say? It's fun knowing that the author has touched their book and signed it. I don't know. It makes me happy. So that was what I got at Half Price Books on my trip, which was super exciting and where majority of my book budget went for the month of October. When I got home, I had a box of a pre-order waiting for me on my front step, so I was super excited. So this is the last book that I have to show you. I'm going to open it now, and we can enjoy it together. Okay. I've taken off the packing slip info so I can open it up here very carefully because we do not want to do anything that would hurt. What is inside? Okay. Okay, here we go. Huh, that's like got almost no air left in it. Neither does that. Wow. Ah, these do. Oh. Okay, so this is another anticipated release of the year. Rebel by Marie Lu. I am so stinking excited. Now, the reason that I pre-ordered this is there's a really cool pre-order gift, and I ordered it from a small independent bookstore that Miss Lu went to, and it is signed. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. And it was important to me to have it signed because I have the original Legend trilogy signed by Marie Lu, and I did not want to have Rebel not signed when all the other books that I own by her are signed. That just would not be cool. This cover is so pretty. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool. So this, oh, look at that. This takes place after, like 10 years after the events of Champion. Oh my goodness. To those charting their own paths, and to those who make it possible for others. Oh my goodness. I'm just so stinking excited. So if I'm understanding correctly, this book is dual perspective, and it is told not only in Day's point of view, but this is mostly Eden, which is Day or Daniel's little brother. And so I'm super excited to get back into this world and kind of see what she has in store for us and hope that she doesn't rip out our hearts too badly. But because I pre-ordered this, I also got home to find that I had this, and I was super excited. So let's open my pre-order perk, incentive, gift, whatever you call it. Okay, now this is also original artwork that was done by Marie Lu, and she has signed it. Oh, with such a pretty bronze Sharpie. But this is a lithograph that she has signed of her own artwork. Isn't that so cool? I am just like, oh, yes. And this is, of course, of the brothers. That is so cool. I love that they put it in a plastic rubber sleeve. That's nice. Keep it pristine. Keep it nice. Oh, man. That's exciting. That is so exciting. Yay. So, anyway, that is what I have for y'all today. I hope that you enjoyed my haul. I know I am going to enjoy reading these books. I am super excited to have some of them that I've already read in my collection, and I'm excited to get to the ones that I haven't. If you have read some of these books, would love to hear what you thought of them, if you enjoyed them or not. Please, no spoilers. No spoilers, sweetie. We don't like those on this channel. I do want to know if you've heard of them or if you've read them, what you thought of them, yay, nay kind of thing, and why, without spoilers. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you'll be notified when I post new videos if you want to see more things from me. I hope that you're having a beautiful and blessed day, my friends. Don't forget to enjoy the journey that is your story. I will see you soon. Bye.